Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Hold Your Brakes Academy presented by PetExtraVets.com as we are here for race number 2 at the beautiful Auto Club Speedway. We're not sure when we're going to have this race because it looked like practice was finishing up in the dark, but now it's kind of reset a little bit. It's a little earlier, but it's still, I guess, late enough in the day that we should be going in tonight. And given the fact that it's 4X when it comes to the time here. We're already at just past 6 o'clock. Should be going into the nighttime here. I get to see these trucks shining brightly here at night. Carl Hamwork joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back where we just should be all the time.
Yeah, like we could open this track up in real life. Just put CRN on it. We won't call it Auto Club. We'll just call it CRN home. And I'm sure the drivers would come. I mean, this track is just one of a kind. It's really a sad day that it no longer is able to be ran in real life. But we can still run it here in the virtual world as these drivers are out here going to be doing this thing. And we have one heck of a lineup here, Carl. It's over 30 drivers here tonight for Hold Your Brakes Academy. So it's going to be a busy one, and with a lot of different choices of driving lines. It should be interesting to see who can come out on top. Again, trucks right up my alley. Like I said, if I had to go back to oval racing, it would be with the trucks for at least for a while. I don't know. I don't care for the other ones as much. But Timothy Presley right now is your current provisional pole sitter.
Well, and he was your pole sitter last week for the season opener. He had to earn it the week before, though, as they had the little duels at Martinsville. But either way, he was your pole sitter at Daytona last week, as well as the winner at the end of those 65 laps. And we did have 31 cars out last week, and it's good to see we keep that total above 30 here for tonight. As Jimmy mentioned, 31 trucks. Hopefully going to take the green flag here tonight and run this thing for 85 laps. Last week, as mentioned, Timothy Presley was able to get the win. Aaron Genske, Rob Higgs rounding out your top 5 with Jeremiah Grau and Ronald Cook for Daytona, which it was interesting to say the least. I mean, it was a good race, all things considered. Considering the type of league that this is, the fact that they only had 4 cautions for those 65 laps, I think is a testament to the fact that they still may be new here for some of them to the to iRacing, but they're making progress. They're doing pretty well out here and did a great job. A couple big ones at Daytona, but all in all, I think it ended up being a pretty good one all the way to the end. But here tonight, 85 laps and a big wide open track here at Auto Club. We'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight and who can keep the truck underneath them. That's really going to be the biggest thing is don't lose by yourself, because there's plenty of room to move around here. There's plenty of ways to get away from your competition, whether it's trying to make a pass, whether it's trying to defend. You can do whatever you want here more often than not. No matter if you're in the beginning of the run, the end of the run, that these trucks will be able to hold on, but you gotta make sure that back end stays underneath you, because I mean, they may look like pickup trucks, but as we said last week, they're not hauling anything. There's no lumber in the back of these beds, so the back end can get a little bit light here, especially late in the run.
Yeah, I know big how the spoiler is on the back of these things. They are going to have some issues coming out of turns 2 and 4. I don't like 4 as much as 2, but I usually like to run a little bit higher line and grab more gradual turning throughs 1 and 2 with the trucks here at Auto Club, and usually tends to pan out if you got some longer runs here with the fuel mileage. But we're getting ready to get under green here as qualifying is done. And is going to go ahead and run down through the list here for tonight's order. And it is going to be the number 22 with Timothy Presley on top once again this week here. So second pole in a week. Jeremiah Grau will go ahead on row number 2. Row number 3 is going to be, row number 2 is going to be David Chapman with Matt Ulmer. And row number 3, Anthony Strickland with Joshua King at number 17. Robbie Minor breaks the top 10 here to start tonight in row number 4 with Chris Sargent. And in row number 5, Jeremy Gill with Carl Carl Fitz. Grant Folsom with James Smith back there in row number 6. Row number 7, Robert Altman and Shane King. Sean McClain and Davis Shively on row number 8. Row number 9 made of Thomas Osborne and Tristan Miner. So Tristan making his presence known here tonight as well. Back to the rest of the pack here on row number 10 will be Matt Bryant with Robert White. Row number 11, Rob Higgs with Tom Lanier. Aaron Genske and Dalton Smith rake up row number 12. Row number 13, Quinn McLean and Ronald Cook. Mike Bryant and Don King in row number 14. And back in row number 15, Jorge Ledesma with Bryson Anderson and Rachel Sullivan bringing up the back of the field.
Well, it looks like bringing actual back of the field up is going to be Anthony Strickland, given an EOL penalty here. Not sure if this was a pre-race penalty or if he asked for the EOL to start this thing. So it'll shake up the front of the order here just a little bit as he's going to drop back from his 5th starting position and that beautiful Quaker Steak number 24. Hopefully he can get that thing up towards the front, but maybe that's why right there. Maybe having some connection issues, and maybe that's why he's deciding to drop to the back, but hopefully he gets that cleaned up. Certainly some good looking trucks out there. But Jimmy, as much as we love seeing these trucks back here, we got a new truck in the field as well. It's not just the Fords, it's not just Chevys, it's not just Toyotas. We have the Dodge Rams out there as well. 2 drivers, Mike Bryant, Don King, donning the Dodge Ram trucks here tonight. And you see not even a paint scheme yet on that number 13.
It is.
And
it's the pit boss.
Oh, it is? Okay, it's not showing up on mine, but it's probably trading paint, so I'll get it corrected on my end. But either way, it's time to go racing here at Auto Club. Timothy Presley, Jeremiah Grau leading him to the green flag here tonight. 85 laps have begun.
And away they go down into turn number 1. Pretty much side by side all the way through as they make their way through the corners here. And you can see them spreading out. Somebody already running to that high side here early on. Don't blame them. It's a great line through 1 and 2 and get used to running it. But back to the field, making their presence. Just great run. Just love the sound of the roar of the trucks here as they make their way around down into turn number 3 through 3 and 4. As you can see, a lot of drivers coming down to the lower side, which is my preferred method through 3 and 4. And then out of turn number 4 onto the front stretch, as it looks like Timothy Presley will get the first lap led here tonight at Auto Club.
Yeah, unless my trading paints is deceiving me again. New paint scheme on the 22 here with the Team Conti paint scheme on their TCSP for Timothy Presley, and instead of the typical checkers record and what the heckers paint scheme that we're used to seeing on that number 22. So good looking fresh paint scheme, and hey, maybe the Daytona win got him that new sponsorship on the truck. But battle for second place as Matt Ulmer now to the inside of Jeremiah Grau, going to take that position, or at least have an edge going through the tri-oval here as they head to the line. It's actually still going to be the 48 on the outside, but you see the field already starting to break up here a little bit. The draft is going to come into play a little bit here, but realistically, it's how hard you want to push a truck, what lines you're running here early on, and how that plays out here, because you can definitely get some good runs. You can spread out here a little bit. They're still somewhat attached field-wise. As you see some battling right there between the 23 and the 4, as Jeremy Gill now dives down the inside. He was one that was up there towards the front at the end of last week before he got caught up in the wreck as he got close there to the back of the 17, just sliding up, maybe getting a little smooch on the back end. We don't judge up here in the booth, but either way, he moves himself up into 3rd place.
Yeah, making some close moves here early on, but that's racing, and that's the oval racing. A lot of these passes are close. You can see how they come through the corners, just 2 wide, 3 wide, almost up on a 5. It does look like somebody's going to get pushed down to the inside. That's Matt Ulmer in number 23, but brings it back from the track safely. So just losing some positions there after maybe some slight contact there. Running at number 23, Rolly Motorsports Machine here. It's just staying low and just trying to get everything back under control. And it's kind of one thing with these tires is that, this track can be pretty heavy on the tires. So that's why you want to kind of pace yourself and don't beat them too much. If you do get yourself out front and run the truck too hard, you're going to find yourself falling back pretty quickly. And the people that have fallen back a little early will catch you and pass you and drive right by. So, you know, it's just depending on, like Carl said, how hard you want to kind of rip these tires up and get things moving. But lots of close battling throughout the field here. It's kind of hard to see all the great action that's going on because they are all side by side, front to the back. There's only a mere 3 seconds separating most of the field all the way back to the 224 of Rachel Sullivan. Aaron Ginsky is out there, but he is back a little ways, so I'm not quite sure what happened to Aaron as he finds himself towards the back of the pack, maybe hoping for a caution here early on to catch up to the field. He's not quite a half a track behind, but up front, still Timothy Presley over Jeremiah Grau with Jeremy Gill and P number 2.
Yeah, I mean, this track is it's big enough that it typically, you know, doesn't destroy the tires too bad, but it's not banked that much as well. I mean, and that's where you see now the drivers maybe starting to migrate from the bottom up to the top to try and straighten out that steering wheel a little bit and not scrub some of the you know, some of the grip from the tires early on in this race. I mean, usually it's not terrible on tires, but like any track, you're going to see that front right starting to wear in just a little bit as you get later in the runs. But I think as we get 3 wide, maybe even we're 3 wide for a couple of spots back here, and it's what makes Auto Club great. I know we talk about it. I know we're big fanboys here for when it comes to Auto Club and Michigan, but you see why. I mean, you know, we the checks don't bounce. You know, we come here and more often than not we see a great race. We see a lot of 2, 3, 4 wide action. Very seldom do we see a stinker of a race, and you know, a ton of wrecks and things like that. I get drivers that love the short tracks and that want to go short track racing and, you know, go back to the roots and everything like that, but lack of a better term, screw the roots. This is where it's at right here. I mean, this is the kind of racing that I like to see, and I'm sure everyone out there in Sierra Nation would probably tend to agree. I mean, this is just some good racing right here, and you get to see all your drivers moving around, going 2, 3, 4 wide. This is what you go to see. You don't go to see 37 cautions over 12 laps.
Yeah, I mean, here's, you know, short tracks, they have, I think they do have their place. Obviously, if you can drive a short track, you learn a lot about your vehicle, you know, how the car handles in tight situations, learning how much you need to apply brakes to slow it down, and then gaining that patience for the vehicle to point in the right direction before you actually get on the throttle, so you're not goosing it out. So tons of learning that could be on short tracks. I don't recommend anybody ever like just staying away from them at all, because you can utilize that in different places. Now, like here, it's not open throttle, so there is some places where you have to lift for a little bit, but some action going on here with Robert White. Oh, it's just a minor. Gonna lock it up here just a little bit as people go sliding right there in front of Ronald Cook. Yeah, 57
is
going for a
definitely
ride.
hurt.
Yeah. But just a minor. Robert White, Thomas Osborne, all getting involved in this one. We'll go back and take a look to see exactly what happened here. Yeah, and it looks like
wide. They got a little close right there. I don't think they touched, but
no.
Then right there, there was the touch going up the track.
That's Robert White.
And you see
Rob Higgs. 3
cars getting involved here. Rob Higgs maybe just checks up in time, but then he's going to get maybe a little more piece of it right there. But he does get away for the most part. But unfortunately, the 8 and 24 both going to walk away with a meatball on this one. Trying to see, right there's the 85, because he is the third one that gets a meatball, and you see heavy impact. Barney maybe you know, kind of flinching a little bit up there. I mean, I know he's got balls of steel up there, but he might have been flinching on that one because that truck was coming right at him. And we're going to see 3 meatballs here on the first incident, with David Shively, Tristan Miner, and Anthony Strickland all picking up a meatball. Looks like Strickland already in the pits to service his truck, and I don't see that meatball getting removed. So I'm wondering if he forgot to take or put the fast repair on. That is a major hurt piece right there, because he's gonna be sitting there for quite some time. And I mean, maybe that's what he kind of wanted at this point, because he had to get the EOL to start this race, maybe with some connection issues. So maybe he's just decided to kind of park it for a little bit. As Tristan Miner in the pit lane now as well. And Jimmy, I don't see the meatball flag gone from Tristan Miner either. So that also is going to be a long time in the pits. Davis Shively, 1 out of 3. Remember the faster pair, and he's going to get back out there. But 2 trucks, both the ones that had to tow back into pit lane. You got to make sure you hit that faster pair and make sure that thing is on. It's tough. I know some drivers, you can set your set your settings up before the race to have it automatically start with it being on or start with it being off, and I get the advantage of starting with it off because you don't want to mistakenly take your faster pair. Maybe you brush the wall a little bit and there's basically no damage to your truck, but even if there's a little scrape, sometimes it'll, if it's 5 seconds of repair, it'll use your faster pair, and then you're stuck there the rest of the race without one. But you get cases like this where if you screw up early, you get in a wreck early that you need that faster pair on. All of a sudden, you're going to be sitting in there for maybe upwards of 10 minutes in the pits and going down multiple laps, and your race is pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, it's all right. So I don't right at the moment. I'm not running any league races either, but I usually have mine on a hotkey over here on my one of my button boxes, whether it's on my Stream Deck or whether it's on the button box that my wife kindly got me a few years ago when I started this hobby. So it was always just a quick button push, like on or off, on fast repair, off fast repair. And if it's one of those things that you haven't done for yourself, there's a few things that you can do. One, you clear all tires, right side tires and left side tires. It's typically what you need for oval racing. And the other one is your fast repair. So in iRacing, there is some F keys that are assigned to different sayings, hey, pass to the right, pass to the left, and a few of the other ones that are out there. But you can change those, and you can add certain pit commands, basically. So you can just have them at the tip of a button. I mean, no delay. You press it. You look. You know you got a meatball. Reach over, press the button. It's that simple. It is something that you need to do. Carl always said he would like to have the option to use the fast repair as soon as you pull in the pits, if you see that the damage is too long.
You'll turn it on even after you're in the pits. Exactly.
So
it should be an option to turn it on whenever you want.
Yeah. So I see ups and downs to it, obviously, but it is just the mulligan. In racing, in real life, there's no fast repair, but obviously you're out here with a lot of people learning, especially a league like Hold Your Brakes Academy. And they're doing a fantastic job, but when somebody makes a mistake, and maybe not your own, at least you have the ability to kind of get back out there and get back to racing. I mean, we're on lap 13 of 85, so still 73 laps to go here tonight. They're too wide, lights are off on the pace car. They're in 3 and out of 4, getting ready to go back to green here. But Timothy Presley is still your leader with the 17 to Joshua Viper King on the outside.
Thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything we have to offer here at Sierra Anna's. We got some trucks blinking out, and that might have caused this wreck right here. I think the 41 of Matt Bryant blink out a little bit, and might have got everybody confused for a second, and there was a little bit of a bunch up here on the restart.
We got some people doing some donuts. Grant Folsom getting turned around along with Aaron Kensky. Caution back out. So hold that thought. I'm going green here, folks. As caution kind of come out. We'll see what happened here. See if we can see what happened here in the back. No. All right, so that was we'll go back up where Aaron Kensky's at. And let's go over here to TV2. We're gonna see kind of what happened here, but it does look like
Right before this, the 41 blinked out a little bit right behind the 14 there. So I don't know if maybe the
41, 21 lifted.
yeah, the 41 blinked out and then all of a sudden came back in there, and I think that's might have gotten a little bit of confusion going on here.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the 3. The 115, the 57, all going to get involved in this one, and no meatballs, just some slight contact, but definitely some damage on a few of those trucks, and they're going to have to come in and get some repairs. See some black flags out there as well for Anthony Strickland, Tristan Miner, and Grant Folsom. So we'll see what's going on with that right here. But I didn't see the 81 coming up there and tagging the 97 as well. So even more damage to some of these trucks, but some of the ones that were involved in that first incident, I'm sure they don't mind staying right up there with the field. It looks like Tristan Miner, I think he's still going to be a lap down, as will Rachel Sullivan. I think Anthony Strickland might be 2 laps down here. But either way, we will get these things wood up one more time. Looks like quite a few drivers towards the back of the pack here coming in, maybe topping off on fuel. Timothy Presley, Jeremiah Grau, Joshua King, David Chapman, Jeremy Gill for your top 5. Then Matt Ulmer, Shane King, Sean McLean, James Smith, Chris Sargent for your top 10. Biggest mover of the race so far. We got Ronald Cook up 13 spots into 13th. And then Tom Lanier also up 11 spots into 11th. So makes perfect sense. But either way, on our second caution here tonight at Auto Club.
Internet issues plaguing some drivers here, that's for sure. It's one thing to have, some issues. Last night, prime example, the internet, AT&T internet cycle wasn't playing nice with Discord, and I'm glad it just wasn't me, but there was a small couple fixes to that. Something about some node or something that was going out there. But if you had a VPN, you could get on the Discord, no problem. I didn't have a VPN until we already started broadcasting, and then something with a hotspot supposedly. But I tried that method and it didn't work. So I just got with Carl. We set up on the fly, and then Carl ended up covering last night as far as putting the stream up on for everybody to see. I was able to partake as my laptop still had Discord open, but no iRacing. So that thing's hardly capable of running a YouTube video, let alone iRacing.
We're going to double them up here and get another restart underway, and hopefully this one's a little bit cleaner. Like I said, I think that one might have just been the blinking internet issues there, and hopefully we get this thing cleared up. And looks like we got some more new paint schemes out there as well, and I do love pointing it out because a lot of these drivers take time to get into the paint shop and put some good looking paint schemes on. As starting to get a little darker here, already getting close to 7:30 p.m. Sim time here, and well, I guess for Jimmy's time, that's what it is right now anyway. But either way, yes. Getting ready for another restart here on lap number 18 when we get the restart. So it's still a lot of racing left to go here at Auto Club. A lot to play out yet, but hopefully these drivers can get after it, get some green flag laps here spread out, and get some good racing.
Yeah, looking forward to getting back to that green flag racing here, as we're still too wide. Lights are still on the pace car as we come out of turn number 4. We should go out this time by, but I guess since we got a little bit of time, we'll go back and take a glance at everybody's liveries, what they're rocking here tonight. I know I see a few either they didn't get a chance to paint the new truck, or they just wanted to run it. So it might be one of those things you just kind of buy it and get it out on the track, no matter regardless of what's on it. But here's that nice paint job there by Timothy Presley, Jeremiah Grau with some smiling friends, Joshua King in the Majestic branded apparel machine for the truck there, Dave Chapman there with CL Racing, Jeremy Gill with the Paint Masters, David Chapman there with, already talking to see him, Matt Elmer with the Backbone Candle Company, Shane King with Backbone Candle, SM Racing, There's the Orioles machine with some Old Bay seasoning. Guess we gotta flavor up the chicken. Ben next. Salmonier, some CL Racing. Chris Surgeon there with engineering. Matt Bryant with the Budweiser machine. Rob Higgs with the pink top it off machine. Matt Bryant, I've already seen him. Quinn McLean, number 21. Robert White. Hi, Carl.
We need another team truck there for Robert White, so there can be a high Jimmy on one of them also.
Right. Robert Cook back there. Dalton Smith. Grant Folsom. Carolina Carports. Mike Bryant there with the pit boss. One of the few Dodgers out there. Robert Altman. Thomas Osborne. Harley Machine. Carl Fitz. Robbie Miner. The Colorful Goodrich. Don King. We're back racing. Aaron Ginsky going 3 wide in the 115.
Yeah, a little bit of a bunch up here. Excuse me, on the restart, and we'll see if anybody gets a black flag from that. There was definitely a lot going on, and it looks like we got a couple of drivers, Grant Folsom and Tristan Miner, both getting a black flag on this one. But we're back to racing here, and you see just trucks all over the track in a good way. But I do see, looks like David Chapman dropping down the order. Not sure what happened here to the 85. I'm sorry, the 88. We're coming back up on the track here, but I don't see any kind of issue where he got tagged, at least per SDK, so we'll try and take a look back and see if anything happened on that one. But Timothy Presley out front right now. Jeremiah Grau, Jeremy Gill, now your top 3, with Joshua King, Tom Lanier for your top 5. A good restart here for majority of the field, and yeah, I'm laughing to myself because my son is a big fan of seasoning on his fries. It's his favorite thing about going to minor league baseball games or the Philadelphia Phillies games. He wants to know where the Krabby Fries are. Where's the closest Chickies and Pizza he can get some Krabby Fries? That's what he craves the most. And finding out that pretty much all it is Old Bay seasoning. So my wife ended up picking some up. We do already have a Red Robin seasoning. Don't know how that happened to come home to the house. We'll just say that. But he did like the Red Robin seasoning on his fries. Not admitting any guilt on the airs here, but my wife did buy an Old Bay seasoning too. So he'll get a little taste of Chickies and Pete's and some Krabby Fries at home. But I digress. That's me putting myself out there about the Red Robin, but I guess we exactly we're not going to be invited back to Red Robin anymore. But either way, racing here at Auto Club, and sun's starting to set out here. As speaking of the Old Bay truck, then in the wall there a little bit, scraping, getting through just barely onto the backstretch now. But the trucks, again, 3 wide here on the backstretch, and heading off into turn number 3. Some great racing right now, and hopefully we'll see the field spread out now a little bit, kind of get into some racing action here, because this track definitely deserves it. We got a brand new leader out front as well, with Jeremy Gill now to the point.
And Jeremy Gill moving up to the front here, but they're going to go 3 wide for P number 2 is the 99. Tom Lanier goes down to the inside, trying to go for a 2-for-1. It's not going to be able to make it happen. Obviously, when you get down, you can drive really fast down into turn 1 on that low side, but you can't stay in it because it pushes your truck to the outside to get that throttle and get that run. So that's why I like the higher side. It's a little bit slower entry, but the run off out of 2 is just it's so much faster. Here at the Auto Club. Now the turns 3 and 4, I like to come down towards the apron, just like you can see right there from the number 22 doing as they work their way around. But this here is turns 1 and 2. So 22 of Timothy Presley using that low line to make the pass here with some pressure. Well, not pressure. Well, fresh your tires early on, I guess, during this next run here, but you can see that outside run, just that momentum shift. You're able to keep that run, go pass over as the 22 had to go to the high side, and then drop down, and the 4 should have the momentum if he's got enough room to run up the track. He does have quite a bit of room as a 22. Timothy Presley gives him plenty of it. But right behind him, we are 3 wide here, 5 in a pattern. It's almost like, you know, the Blue Angels out there.
Blue Angels, yeah, exactly. Heading off at turn number 1 and maybe a little bit too high. This is the second or third time now I've seen Joshua King up there in the outside wall. Don't want to do that too much. I mean, it won't get you a meatball, but it's not going to gain you any positions either. As I head off now down the backstretch, it's such a great sight seeing just groups of trucks all on top of each other. You can throw a blanket over a few different groups right now out there doing some great racing. But Timothy Presley back out to the front until Jeremy Gill just took it back right now. So good battling up there in the front of the pack as they're side by side here at the line for first, side by side for third as well between Jeremy Grau and Shane King. And Tom Lanier in fifth as we're gonna get a caution here. Looks like Quinn McLean involved in this one. So we'll take a look back and see what happened.
Go back here and see what happened here.
Oh, the 17 getting the wall again. Not by his doing on that one, but 21 getting sideways, and that was close there.
Talk about holding the brakes, man.
Good job there from Quinn McLean, and great job of avoidance for some of these trucks here getting on by. But the 21's doesn't have a meatball, but he's gonna need to get some repairs done for sure on that truck. But either way, we get the trucks woed up here again, and not sure what happened right
that was
there.
live.
Stage right. That was the 23. Just a little shot across the bow from Matt Homer. I just see him. Oh,
that wasn't
that
him.
would be why.
He
got a big old shot from behind.
That was the.
Yellow truck, I seen that.
I think it was.
That was just a yellow flash. There it is, Don King. Yeah, tried to dive out the way, and unfortunately, big impact right there.
Whoopsie.
So maybe we will have some fast repairs after all for some of these trucks, as we'll get them down into pit lane, and it looks like a good majority of the front of the field, the first 18, the way it looks, stay out and will not come into the pits this time by. But under caution here again at Auto Club, and it's not something we typically see here, but I guess it makes sense, Jimmy. They had a pretty good, clean Daytona. So now they want to mix it up here a little bit. Now they want to get some caution and throw some different strategies out there at us, and maybe getting just a little bit too racy. That's maybe one downside to Auto Club is there's so many different lanes, there's so many ways that they just that you want to get after it, and you feel like there's always a line there for you.
Yeah, so many different lines, you know, and I would say I'd talk about, you know, my preferred line. That's not these drivers' preferred line, so, you know, and I'm also not on the track, so, and you have to do something different from the guy in front of you, typically. So if you're trying to pass somebody, you're trying to find somewhere where you can be better, you know. So if you run that same line, but you need to do something a little bit different on the exit, or draft them so you get the slingshot around them, or back up the corner just a little bit. There's all kinds of little nuances and stuff that you can do here, but this is a great track, you know, to kind of hone in on your racecraft. Pay attention to your surroundings. Now, Carl, there's one thing that I know iRacing has some updates this recently. One, they had one today because I had to download some stuff. But I was digging around in the widgets that iRacing has recently added, and there's some new ones out there. They now have like physical like indicators that you can bring up and put on your screen. So when somebody's right, so not just your spotter saying somebody's right, it actually lights up like a little light saying somebody's on your right hand side. So, you know, if you're somebody out there that loves visual cues, you're on a single monitor, you know, these are some of the things that iRacing has even provided to the driver that you can put out there. You can also bring up relatives. You can do your laps and sectors, and you can do a little standings window now. So a lot of these overlays that some of these other places that we've used.
The secondary market.
the secondary market has used in the past. They're starting to bring them to light and for the game now. Are they as pretty? No. Can they add as much? No. But to have those extra things added to the game without adding an extra program, that more stress on the machine, you don't want to pay for, whatever, you know. So, but there is some nice second hands out there that you can pay a few dollars, obviously, for somebody's individual's time and putting in the effort to make those little things, your life a little easier. My favorite one is iOverlay, and I don't. It's because we do the endurance racing. So if you're in a slower car, the big one is when a faster car is coming up behind you, it pops up and it's basically shows how it took up to 2 seconds behind you. So you know that car is getting ready to pass you. So you're more self-aware. The other one is if somebody goes off track, say they're down in the grass and they're pointing the wrong direction, the bar would be red. So you'd have a heads up that there's like somebody facing the wrong way, so you don't hit them. The yellow would be maybe they're just off the side and they're slow, and then green, they're going in the right direction. But you can see that time the closure rate because you'll see the gap, the interval, kind of going down pretty quickly as you close up to them. So just a good heads up, and that's probably the biggest thing that I thoroughly enjoy. And then always, we've always gone back and forth. I think ever since me and you have even raced, just finding something that had a decent fuel calculator for those long runs. And it's not even something that you need per se for the majority of the race. But when it comes down to the end, you're like, all right, how many laps do I need to do? Can I save a little fuel? How much fuel do I need to the end? And trying to get nailing that, not taking too much fuel, because every single second counts. We talk about pit stops here with all the leagues that we broadcast, and how important it is to get in the pits, take your tires and all that fun stuff. And this is just another example of some of the things out there that drivers can use. But iRacing has upped their game and has brought it to the drivers out here. Right now we're going to get things started here. Rachel Sullivan is going to start this thing here tonight, out there from the outside of 97, actually down the inside of Dalton Smith. So maybe some new drivers getting a run at start and a run here. So we're down past the start zone. Green flag is going. 97 and 224. Get a good run. A little bit of check up through the field as everybody trying to roughness, but still got things going here. Everybody is going in the right direction. And the number 97 is leading this thing right at the moment with 115 of Aaron Genske up there. Rachel Sullivan in heat number 3 currently as they head down the backstretch.
Crossover there from Genske to get down to the bottom of the track to get around at the 97, and he will take the top spot here, but 3 wide behind as the 90 or the 57 on the outside. The 97 stuck out there. The 48 drifting up a little bit. Matt Ulmer getting involved in a little bit there again, but the truck definitely looks a little bit better than it did when Don King got on the back of him, and he's got that thing rolling up inside the top 10 right now. But back out to the front, the 22 has worked his way through the field here. Fresh tires on the 22. He's got it back out front. 115 in second, and now you see the 4 of Jeremy Gill using those new tires to get himself up front as well. Some close racing down the backstretch here, but the 22 going to lead him off into turns 3 and 4. Genske dives down to the bottom, but I think that outside line is definitely ripping pretty nice right now for Presley.
Yeah, he didn't quite use the high side of that one, kind of pinched the 115 down there on the lower side, not allowing him to drift out. It definitely slows the run down. Kind of a defensive tactic, to be honest, to try to pinch your competitor down there as much as you can. Get them to slow it down. And 4 of Jeremy Gill trying to get underneath the 115 of Aaron Genske and could not quite get it done as the 115 used the high side.
Thank our sponsors here for the series while we have a chance, that being Meats and Sweets, or Meats and Sweats as I like to call them, mid-tier racing, Backbone Candle Company, PedalsForVets.com, obviously being the title sponsor, and SM Racing Products, as well as I believe they're still on as a sponsor with Majestic Branded and Apparel. If not, well, a little extra I'll throw out for them as well. But definitely been an interesting one here so far, and we still got plenty of racing yet to go. We're just past the third way through this race, so a lot of racing yet to go. Timothy Presley out front, Aaron Genske, Jeremy Gill, Thomas Osborne, Jeremiah Grau for your top 5. Then you got Lanier, McLean, Smith, Cook, Sargent for your top, Sergeant, either way, one of them, in there for your top 10. And I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in as well, as hopefully you're enjoying the racing out here so far. Mike, I know you're already enjoying your off season from 191. Hopefully we get a chance to get you and Jimmy together, and we'll see maybe we'll see Mike Casey in the booth on this Thursday night for the Core GT, a little special presentation for the season finale over there. If not, a good chance you'll see him next season for the Core GT, as they're going to be broadcasted once again. Barry, certainly no surprise to see Barry out there. Samantha, maybe not a great start for Tristan Minor, but hopefully getting everything turned around and fixed up and doing a little bit better. And right now running in 30th, a few laps down, so hopefully Tristan gets something going here. But Robbie, in the meantime, is on the lead lap, was up there inside the top 20, still hanging on to 20th spot right now, but dropped a few spots here. I mean, you see just how racy it is. So it's kind of like, I want to say kind of like Darlington, kind of like Talladega, because you are pretty much flat out the entire way around this track. But the fact that you can kind of move around in the corners makes it a lot different. In the 97 here of Dalton Smith, locks it up coming down into pit lane and almost gets in the wall, but keeps it off there. And going to bring it now down into pit lane. No caution as everything happened off the track. But the 22, Presley, looking to go back-to-back to start the season, and a little welcome back to the series here, as didn't get a chance to finish out last season, but already off on a tear, getting the pole for the first 2 races of the season. Looking to get the win for the first 2 as well.
Yeah, it might just be one of those vehicles that, you know, Tim's a little more in touch with here, and, you know, doing a fantastic job and able to drive to the field, get the thing up front, and obviously hold the race pace here as he leads the majority of the evening here right now over Jeremy Gill. But Jeremy Gill looking to strike, looking for that opening to get that 4 out front here and get himself a victory here as well, but running good here tonight. Aaron Genske doing a fantastic job, up 20 spots. And running in P 3 at the moment. Jeremiah Grau down a couple spots there in the Smiley truck in P 4. Tom Lanier having another good run here tonight in P 5. Thomas Osborne in the Harley truck is up there in the top 10 as well in 6th. 19 spots. Running in 7th is the number 31 of Ronald Cook. Chris Sargent back there in 8th. And then obviously another battlefield is being led by David Shively and David Chapman, as Rob Higgs is trying to poke his nose through the front of that pack. But all the way back with Robert White, seen him getting an incident earlier, but is currently sitting in the top 20 still, and maybe looking to make his way through this battlefield. And you can see that green and orange machine kind of looking forward here, trying to see things. We'll go on top of the nose and see what Robert sees here as he trying to work his way through the field, and that fighting pig Irish machine here. It says smoking meats.
Great views, and you can see the great battles going all around, and see Marty White getting involved in some of those battles here as well. And we do have a truck going down the bottom. Look like we got a couple trucks. I did see the 17 of Joshua King get shot down to the inside. Not sure what happened on that one. We'll have to take a look back there. I think I seen another truck flying down the inside as well.
A little tap of the wall there.
It does a glitch.
And the 94 gets in there, and the 23 gets into the 17, send him for a ride 94 is going to get turned around as well. It does look like a few others getting collected up there as they continue.
That was, and as one former broadcaster here in CRM, Dylan McDonald would say, yard sale, as there's parts all over the place on the inside there, all from the 17 truck, and he is in the pits. He towed in the pits, and we may have another situation. Not sure if he already used his fast repair, but he's in the pits right now, and it's not taking a fast repair here. So he may be in the same boat as some of the other trucks from earlier, or maybe he just straight up doesn't have a fast repair anymore, but that's going to be a lot of work for the 17. He did tow. He did tow into the pits, so he may not have... well, yeah, that's true. He may just be towing to the pits and then the fast repair will kick in. But James Smith looks like is the other one. The 64 has got a meatball as well. I haven't seen him in the pits just yet, so we'll see if he brings that Old Bay number 10 into the pits. We do got to get him to fix that number as well, Jimmy. We got to put the feelers out there, not just fix the truck. He's got to fix that number, because he's the 64 in here, but he's the 10 on the side of the truck, and I don't see any 10s out there. So maybe the 10's available. He can just go ahead and switch it over to the number 10.
Maybe.
And just clear everything up all at once. But either way, the field into the pits here is everyone coming in the pits on this pit stop.
Yeah, closing in on the halfway mark here, and you don't want to be the one left down. You never know what can happen here. This thing could go green the rest of the way. These drivers definitely have the talent to do so, and obviously you don't want to be the one with like down in this part and being able to get left behind. So out there, in order to take a little bit of some fuel and whether you take tires or not, that's kind of up to y'all, depending on how you have to manage your tires. But Timothy Presley is going to get the lead out of the pits here. Jeremy Gill's still going to be in second. Jeremiah Grau moves back up into P3, so the front runners are coming back to the front here. Tom Lanier still hanging in there in number 99 in fourth. Chris Sargent in fifth. Dave Chapman in sixth. And that number 88 machine, Aaron Genske, still up there in seventh. Rob Higgs finds himself in the top 10 at the moment in P8. Ronald Cook in ninth. And Matt Ulmer rounds out your top 10.
Get them doubled up here, and should get the one to go this next time by, and then we'll get them to green pretty much right at the halfway point here. Timothy Presley has been leading a majority of the race here tonight. Jeremy Gill has been up there. Jeremiah Grau has been up there as well. But this is the first time we're seeing that 99 of Tom Lanier up inside of the top 5 pretty much all night, as he started back there in 22nd position. So good move up through the field here from the 99, and you also can say the same for Aaron Genske. We've seen him up front a couple times here tonight, but he started back there in 23rd, so clearly he's got some speed, some power under that number 115 here tonight. Rob Higgs taking him a little bit to get up towards the front here, but he started back there in 21st as well, and has worked his way up into the top 10 right now in 8th. And Ronald Cook started back in 26th, up 17 spots into 9th. So some big movers right now inside the top 10. Some drivers that started up towards the front and the back right now. You got Anthony Strickland started in 5th. He's back there in 27th. You got Joshua King started in 6th place. He's back in 28th, but both those drivers involved in some incidents where they had to tow back to pit lane and really kind of taking the wind out of the sails here, at least early on. But again, we're only at the halfway point, so you never know if we have some more caution in the second half to get them back up to the front of this field on the lead lap. But pace car lights are out. And Jimmy, while we get this restart here at halfway, why don't we go ahead and crank it up for the fans out there in Sierra Nation? We'll let them love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the Hold Your Brakes Academy, presented by PitUpsReds.com. We had a couple of little kerfuffles there during the Hold Your, they'll love to hear it, as we are back to green flag racing here again after another restart, and it is still a little bit of the same out front, as Timothy Presley out front, Jeremy Gill in second, Jeremiah Grell in third. Those have pretty much been the staples for your top three so far here tonight, but we did see some other drivers making their way up through the top 10, the top 5. You got Chris Surgeon in fourth right now, Ronald Cook in fifth. You got Matt Ulmer, Aaron Gensky, Quinn McLean, Tom Lanier, and Robert Altman currently in your top 10. A little battle for the top spots here with Jeremy Gill, and looks like Chris Surgeon and Ronald Cook are doing some battling as well. But you see, just after the restart, some of the fields starting to spread out here. Looks like Thomas Osborne has crashed, and that may be why we're going to be under another yellow flag here.
We'll go back and check to see what happened to the Harley machine. Just done by himself, coming out of the pits.
And off the track, so kind of surprising that this actually even brought out a caution.
Yeah, not quite sure. Sometimes iRacing doesn't call those. But calling it here tonight, for the drivers, so no damage to anybody. But they're going to rack them back up here once more. Still plenty of racing here, folks. So a long one here tonight at Auto Club. Obviously at our favorite track, put on some great racing when they can keep this thing green, but having some incidents. I think we're starting to see, obviously with so much room to race, Carl, just some choices of the moves that are being made. Maybe just a little overzealous for that point of time of the race, as we still have quite a few laps to go. Narrowing it down to about 27 more laps to go. But, still a pretty good race so far. And, Timothy Presley's been out front pretty much all race with Jeremy Gill right there. Jeremiah Grell, no slouch either, qualifying up there in P, number 2, still sitting in third. Chris Surgeon has made his presence known up here in the number 66 in the top 5, along Ronald Cook poking his nose up here as well in P, number 5, right there in the meats and sweets, number 31. Aaron Gensky still hanging out up in the top 10, along with Matt Ulmer, Tom Lanier, Quinn McLean in number 21 is up there in the top 10, and Robert Altman in the number 94. Rest of the field back from 10th on, got Sean McLean, Shane King, Mike Bryant, David Chapman, Don King, Jorge Ledesma, Matt Bryant, Carl Fitz, Grant Folsom, and James Smith for your top 20. And you got Rob Higgs, Robert White, Joshua Viper King, and Rachel Sullivan still on the lead lap. And then some drivers a few laps down. I'll go ahead and bring up the grid here so you can see. Actually, Joshua King is
Rachel Sullivan about to be
Sullivan.
back on the lead lap, I believe, because I think, actually we did have a lot of people stay out here. Yeah. We did have quite a few come down pit road, but a lot of your leaders staying out there, and it's typically at Auto Club, track position isn't that big because you can easily make some passes out here, but maybe tonight it's playing a little bit bigger of a part, and this is a little rough for an Auto Club race from what we've seen in the past, not just from other leagues, but even from here at Hold Your Brakes. It's typically a track that you can spread out there and spread your wings, but I think that the drivers maybe not realizing how much room you actually have on the track and just get a little bit too close to each other when they're out there racing around, and just causing some incidents here tonight. I mean, this last one here, I'm surprised it was even a yellow. It still doesn't make sense that the truck lost control down on the bottom of the track, and it was quite some time before the yellow came out as well, because he lost control and there was other things that happened, and then finally the yellow came out while he was still down there on the apron. But it is what it is. Sometimes iRacing gets screwy with caution. Sometimes somebody wrecks right in the middle of the track, there's no caution. Somebody wrecks off the track and there is a caution. So who knows? Barney, we wonder sometimes if he's drinking up there in the flag stand. But either way, we're gonna get this thing back underway. It is once again gonna be Timothy Presley at the front, Jeremy Gill, Jeremiah Grell, and Chris Surgeon for your front 2 rows. As pace car, once again, just like last night, Jimmy, maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel down there on that apron.
What are they doing? Cut up in front of him if he was an actual
It's an aggressive
object.
block right there.
An aggressive
I
block.
mean, can you hold on? Can you protest the iRacing pace car, because that was an aggressive block right there to keep the field behind.
Stay back. I'm faster than y'all. Still
Maybe leading the most laps here tonight so far too.
Oh no, hopefully not. But obviously under caution. Down to 25 laps to go. Going too wide. We get the field all gathered back up here. Lights are off on the pace car. Gonna work our way down the backstretch here one more time tonight, and a few more hopefully under green as we finish up here with these drivers. 31 drivers still on. Well, 30 drivers are on the track. I think Bryson Anderson did not make it out there. David Shively not out there. Robbie Minor's not out there. Anthony Strickland's not out there. I guess he's my bad.
Yep, he's out there.
Yeah, so just missing 3. Yeah, that's what the 24's got going for him here tonight.
Looks good right now.
I mean, it's in one piece.
Yeah, just gotta find 4 more laps to get back on the lead lap here. But either way, about to go back to green flag racing. Timothy Presley going to be your control truck here once again, and we'll get him back underway. Hopefully we get a nice little run here to the checker flag, because we are down to 25 laps to go here in the race as Timothy Presley back to the Geico restart zone, and we're back on the loud pedal racing again here at Auto Club.
A little slow here from some of the drivers on the back, but green flag is dropped, and see some drivers taking advantage of some fall back here. Back under green here as they work their way around the track, right on board with Anthony Strickland in the back, kind of see how they're doing out here, checking up for the number 97 as they go into turn number 1. But gonna get everybody holding up for them or something. 24 trying not to get into any trouble here. Has had to let up a few times. Getting that number 24 through turns 1 and 2, but up to the front, Timothy Presley is back out front over Jeremy Gill here. 24 laps to go. They should have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way, so no more green flag stops here tonight. I don't think that they have any green flag stops here tonight, so all under caution, fuel stops and strategies when to come in. And just kind of who has the right tires now, and who doesn't have too much fuel, has the opportunity to win here. Still plenty of racing. Obviously 23 laps is right around 15 minutes or so of racing, so still plenty of racing here to go as the 66 makes a move underneath the 48 to take P3.
I'm now trying to do the crossover here on the front stretch down to the bottom of the 66, and you see the side draft definitely works here, and it can get you up alongside, and you see Genski right behind. Not sure where to go, gives the 66 a little bit of a shove there heading into the corner, but keeps that thing straight and pointing the right way. A little bit of a slide job there, asphalt slider from the 48. Not sure if the 66 enjoyed that move too much, and some bobbing and weaving down the backstretch here as they head off down into turn number 3. We'll see if the 66 throws the same kind of move here, but now the 48 drops down there to try and block it. They touch here a little bit, so a little aggression maybe being let out here late in the race. Still close to each other, trying to side draft off each other, and that's not going to turn out too well, and that very well could be our next caution. And there it is. It takes a little bit for the caution to come out, but that's what happens. You mess with fire, you're going to get burnt. And unfortunately, 2 drivers that were up here battling at the front are now going to be trying to battle their way back up through the field. Looks like the 66 survived a little bit better from that little altercation, but we'll take a look back and see again what happened in this one. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's not going to end well right there. He stopped it right at the climax of that one, I think. We'll take a look back at this one here again, and you see the 48 hooks himself right across the front of the 66, and it's bad enough sliding through the grass and getting into the pit road wall here. But if you have any children watching the broadcast, if you have a weak stomach, now might be the time to turn away. because this is about to go from PG-13 to R-rated here in just a moment, because this was a pretty vicious hit. We'll keep it in slow-mo because I think it's just going to be a little bit too vicious if we showed it in full-mo the first time going through here. But you see the 48 goes for a bit of a ride, and I mean, certainly insult to injury. Certainly to the 48 here, and again, he certainly got burnt on this one. Well, I think, Jimmy, we may need to take a look at that one maybe one more time, and give everyone out there that is still tuning in and likes to tune in for Rex see this thing at full speed.
Am I still on him? Yep. All right, here we go. I can just feel that. Ouch.
And somehow, unless I missed it, I think because it was a perfect hit in the door, it may not have been a meatball for the 48. I mean, I didn't see one pop up unless I was too busy looking at the carnage.
The 41 got one?
Well, the 41's got he's got a black flag, but not a meatball.
I see a meatball on the 41.
Maybe you got a black flag and a meatball, because a black flag is showing up for me. But either way, in the pit lane here, and it looks like the entire field deciding to come in here, and let's see if anybody has tires remaining on their pit wall here. Looks like none for the 22 or the 4 or the 115. They'll be your first 3 cars out of the pits. Doesn't look like too many cars or trucks have tires left, but Tom Lanier does. He is your first truck out there with a fresh set of rubber. Now, what can the 99 do here to the end of this race? David Chapman in the same boat. He had a set of tires left, as did Quinn McLean or the Desmond Jr. Looks like taking, I know he took 4. It was James Smith and the number 10/64 taking 2 tires. And they got Carl Fitz, Mike Bryant taking a full set of tires. But your top 8 right now are on used tires. Now, granted, we've had quite a bit of cautions here tonight, a lot more than we're typically used to seeing, and later here in this race, we'll see how much those new tires are going to factor in. I would think they're going to factor in nicely if we get green flag racing is the thing, and we're down now under 20 laps to go. So if we get a few more cautions to the end, it's not going to be time for those drivers to make it up from the back half of the top 10 up to the front of this field. So they really need this thing to go green the rest of the way and make those tire pay some dividends.
Yeah, 18 laps to go. You can burn a set of tires out here if you go all out, probably in about 10. So it's just outside that window. It's not something you want to just fire them up right from the get-go if you're out there on fresh tires. If somebody's kind of holding back, they can definitely, your tires will plateau and you won't be able to get around them. So, or at least the other driver will be able to defend fairly well. So, still a little bit of tire management here, Carl. Obviously, 18 laps ago, we've had a few cautions here throughout the middle of this race, and here down towards the end, everybody really trying to get at it here, and the trucks really, you can kind of go wherever, and what you've seen on the screen is I think what happened at my last Auto Club race in an official, and the guy did it twice, and he come at me saying that I did the same thing to him twice, and I was like, sorry, bud. You came down off because I had him up, kind of pinned up towards the wall, and he wasn't clear, and he tried to clear himself, and he come across my nose and turned twice. Same guy. So he tried to give me grief, but I told him to watch the replays, and that was the only thing I said to him. Because I would have owned up to if it was my fault, but the guy bounced off the wall on one, and the other one he just turned down, and I was still there. So gotta watch where you're going. Pay attention. Like I said, I talked about some handy-dandy iRacing doodads out there, some widgets that'll help you get those visuals for your need if somebody's still left and right of you. So give them a whirl. Some of those things do make a world of difference and can make you a safer driver. But here we are right now with 17 laps to go. Timothy Presley out to the lead here. Jeremy Gill going to the high side, trying to get the run.
Yeah, now ultimately, I think the moral of the story there is you mess with the Jimmy, you get the chrome horns at the end of the day. So either way, back to racing here, and you mentioned saving some tires here. If I'm Tom Lanier, if I'm Quinn McLean, if I'm any of these drivers that came in and took tires on this last pit stop, I'm not saving. I'm going full out here. I'm going hard. I'm using up those tires 100% immediately. I want to get to the front as quick as possible. One, in case any kind of cautions come out, and two, I know that I got newer tires than the other drivers out here, and they're going to have to fight, tongue and hammer to try and keep me behind as well. So right now, you got some kind of tire advantage on everybody out there. Even if you burn them off to get them back to even with those people in front of you, you still have a fighting chance. So you see the 99 right now already driving through this field. Shane King trying to do the same thing here. He didn't take tires on this last pit stop, but gets the inside here of Genski, trying to follow Tom Lanier through this field, who's already gotten himself from a 9th restart up into 3rd after just a couple laps. So certainly going to factor into the end of this thing if he can get around Jeremy Gill quickly and start to run down Timothy Presley, because Presley stretching out to one of the biggest leads we've seen here all night, almost out over a second in the lead, and that means he's out of the draft bubble as well. So Jeremy Gill has got to try and hold off Tom Lanier here, but I don't think there's much he can do. Maybe be able to hold him off for a little bit as he pinched him down there, and Tom Lanier maybe was expecting to be up a little higher, had to back out of that one a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of momentum, and we'll see if he loses a spot here as Genski and King doing some battling here in 4th or 5th right behind Lanier, as Shane King's going to slide up behind Lanier here, but Genski to the inside to try and retake 4th.
Yeah, Genski trying to move forward here and just pushing the issue a little bit. Obviously, 44 getting his nose up here for the first time tonight as well. But Dave Chapman battling out there and for Pete, number 5. Timothy Presley leads the slow pack over Jeremy Gill, Tom Lanier, Shane King as we continue on the battle on. But back to the back of the field, and no question asked. The battle is everywhere. All over the track, drivers are still trying to get their race on here. There's a lot of 2 wides, 3 wides with the 48 back here. NP number 13 battling with Ronald Cook, trying to get things done here. So they're side by side coming across the start finish line. 13 laps ago, Carl.
Yeah, Growl's got some new tires on the 48, trying to make his way back up through and at least maybe squeak out a top 10 before this thing is over. But that 1 second lead has been cut in half. It was down to just a little bit over half a second. Right now it's 0.6 heading into turn number 3. So they are reeling in Timothy Presley here a little bit, as Jeremy Gill still holding on to 2nd. Tom Lanier trying to figure out a way to catch up to him and get up into 2nd. But you see right here riding on board with Shane King. He's on the inside trying to use that side draft, but now he's going to slide up behind the 99 of Tom Lanier, heading down into turn number 1. Just some good battling right here, and this is what we expected to see all race. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to see too much with a lot of these cautions here tonight, but we've seen some good racing right here at the end. You see right there the 4 of Jeremy Gill doing everything he can to keep that 99 behind him, and this is definitely helping out Timothy Presley at the front. How about the move by the 60 of Shane King? Dives it down low, tries to make it stick, but on the outside, Tom Lanier trying to run that high line, and now he gets a good run out of the corner. Jeremy Gill blinking out here a little bit, and that's kind of the worst time, yeah, as Lanier has to back off because he didn't know where the 4 was. And he's going to have to try and mount another charge here. But meanwhile, they have reeled in your leader. Timothy Presley now only 0.3 of a second in front. So we've got a major battle on our hands. The 44 Ledesma Jr. moving up through the field here as well. You got Genski still trying to hang on to that top 5 on the outside. So you can throw a blanket right now over the top 10.
Yeah, top 10 all kind of wound up here real close. We're right on board here with Quinn McLean, NP number 10, as he's right behind Robert Altman, looking forward. But you can see the trucks everybody trying to find their hole there down the track here. What lane should I choose? Should I run a higher line? Should I run a low line? But you can see somebody running a little higher line. You got obviously Quinn McLean letting off, kind of coming down, dime in the corner here just a little bit, trying to get that run off down the inside. He's going to make it 2-3 wide here, I believe. We'll go look at the flag here. Yeah, they're 3 wide. 94, 66, 21 as they head into turn number 3.
Jeremy Gill has fallen back now to 5th place as it got a little close right there as we're watching the battle still back here in the back half of the top 10. But meanwhile, the 4 is dropping back through the field, and he is now back into 6th position as Tom Lanier has moved up into 2nd, Shane King into 3rd, doing some battling right now with the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. as he also has some fresh tires from this restart. And you see right now 3, almost 4 wide coming off the corner. The 88 of David Chapman trying to get through the middle there. He's going to back off, and it's going to settle down a little bit heading into turn number 3. And Jimmy at the line, we still got 8 laps to go, so there's still a lot of racing left in this thing. But I got my eyes on that 99. I think he may have the right strategy here late. It's just if he makes that pass, can he hold on to it is the question.
Yeah, there's a lot of hungry drivers back here, and with them battling each other, it's gonna kind of slow things up. It's definitely what Timothy Presley wants. That's what the 99 wants. With front 3, trying to make a move here. 99 trying to get that run on the 22 as you can look forward here, but pretty wide right here in front of Robert Altman, Shane King, Jeremy Gill, David Chapman, all shifting around here. We'll move up to Aaron Genske here as we watch the top 3 now battling side by side as they come out of turn number 4.
Yeah, 3 wide for the lead, and the outside line going to pay off nicely for the 99. He's going to take the top spot right now, and the driver that was out front all night, the 22 of Timothy Presley, is now looking to maybe be shifted back into 3rd. Just didn't have the tires at the right time, didn't have the right pit strategy, whatever it is. He is now fallen back to 3rd, and maybe even 4th here as Genske trying to reel in your top 3. Meanwhile, Tom Lanier has gotten to the point trying to get out there and get himself a win here on the season in race number 2. As this was definitely a good call by the 99 team. Only had 1 win last season. Already looking to get a win here on race number 2. You see the 22 now fighting back. Now he's on the inside here of Ledesma trying to retake 2nd place. Meanwhile, the 4 of Jeremy Gill still having some blinking issues. I know he's been working on that. It seems like every season it's getting better, but now here late in the race is not exactly the time you want to be blinking in and out. It's on the outside right now. Genske, he needs to stay unblinking because he's got to try and use those side drives so they work their way around the lap car of Rob Higgs there. Currently running in at 23rd, but some crazy battling here at the front of this field. Inside the top 5, almost some contact there between the 94 and the 60.
Yeah, some pretty intense racing going on here behind the 22. There's the 88 trying to get up there, 115 trying to get around the 4 as well, 22 trying to block them in. Nowhere to go here. They're trying everything possible to hold back some of these cars, and the only one not being held back right now is the number 99 of Tom Lanier, just kind of stretching his legs, those fresher tires doing the job they need to do. 21 spots gained here tonight. Jorge Ledesma beat him to Timothy Presley in 3rd. And then Aaron Genske sitting in 4th, along with Jeremy Gill and Dave Chapman here. Just a heck of a battle.
Oh.
4 barely slides up in
there
front of the 88.
No room right there in front of the 88 of Chapman, but somehow Gill slides up there to take 5th place. At the front, Tom Lanier trying to get this thing done here as Jorge Ledesma Jr., last season champion, trying to run him down here in the waning laps because we are down to 4 laps to go here as Rob Higgs drops down on the bottom, lets these drivers battle it out here at the end. Taking a look back and trying to see where Jeremiah Growell has moved himself back up into 9th place. So a good bounce back after getting involved in the incident, really kind of taking himself out here late. He's at least worked himself back up into the top 10. We'll see if he can move up any further, but the laps are ticking down here at the line right now. We got 3 laps to go. Lanier, Ledesma, Presley, Genske, and Gill for your top 5. Chapman, Altman, King, Growell, and Sargent for the top 10.
Race coming down to the final 3 laps. If anything were to happen, they would go to a green-white checker. So they just have a few more laps to go here as this thing is winding down here tonight at Auto Club with the Hold Your Brakes Academy. And Tom Lanier has pulled this one out of the hat here, and just right spot, right time for a set of tires. And you know, we talk about different leagues and different strategies, and you know, some leagues you know, don't like fuel strategies. Some leagues don't like tire strategies, and this is kind of one of those nights here where just took the tires at just the wrong time, and then finally they get that green flag run they were looking for all night long, and Lanier able to exercise new tires over the rest of the field. 2 laps to go. Tom Lanier, number 99, looking to take this one away.
Coming to the white flag this time by, and we got a heck of a battle for third place right there. 3 trucks going at it, and the 22 trying to do everything he can to hold them off. Almost 3 wide here on the front stretch as the white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go. You'd think that the 22 is blocking for the win here, but he's trying to hold on to the podium spot. Meanwhile, the 99 stretching his legs a little bit here at the front, about 0.6 of a second in front of Ledesma. Presley currently in third, but you got 2 hungry drivers right behind him. The 4 of Gill trying to get that final spot here on the podium here tonight. The 115 right there in 5th place right now. Looks like just not going to be enough. Maybe one last shot here out of the final corner. And the 4 gets into the wall that may sacrifice a spot here at the end. Tom Lanier, your winner. Jorge Ledesma Jr. coming home in second. The 22 of Presley coming home in third. Genski and then Gill, as Gill lost a spot there from just trying to go a little bit too heavy at the end. And you see the drivers maybe letting the 22 there, Presley, know what they thought at the end of this thing. But heck of a run. David Chapman comes home in 6th. Robert Altman, Shane King, Quinn McLean, and Chris Sargent for your top 10 as looks like Jeremiah Grau fell back to 12th place before this thing ended. But we didn't get the full race that we were expecting, the full spectacle here of Auto Club, but we had a heck of a battle here at the end of this thing and ended up being a great race.
Yeah, obviously a decent race here tonight, and you know, Auto Club does that. I mean, that's what we're here to watch, and you know, it finally was able to show its pretty little face here tonight and give the race that the fans kind of wanted. Had to wait a little while tonight on this one, as it was a little bit longer than usual, but you know, it's kind of just, you know, you get out there, racers trying new things, new vehicle, some tight racing all around the track. As you can see, the trucks kind of are able to kind of drive anywhere here at Auto Club. So just a great overall, pretty good finish. We'll go ahead and give you a rundown of tonight's finishing order here, starting off with your winner, Tom Lanier. Will go ahead and win tonight over Jorge Ledesma. Timothy Presley there for your top 3. Aaron Genski, Jeremy Gill, David Chapman, Robert Altman, Shane King, Quinn McLean, and Chris Sargent there for your top 10. Matt Ulmer, Jeremiah Grau, Ronald Cook, James Smith, Sean McLean, Joshua King, Carl Fitz, Mike Bryant for your top 18. And then back to the rest of the field here with 19th, Rachel Sullivan. Robert White finishes on 20th. Grant Folsom in 21st. Don King, Rob Higgs, Dalton Smith, Tristan Miner finishes back there in 25th. Anthony Strickland back at 26th. Thomas Osborne 27th. Matt Ryan in 28th. 29th is going to be Robbie Miner. 30th, David Shively, and Bryson Anderson for your 31 truck field here tonight at the Auto Club.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here again. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe to get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsors here as well. Meats and Sweets, Mid-Tier Racing, Backbone Candle Company, SM Racing Products, and of course our series title sponsor, PinUpServets.com, as we're going to go ahead and get our top 3 here in for their interviews. And third place here tonight was your winner last week, but he's going to come home in third here tonight. That is going to be the 22 of Timothy Presley. Timothy, looked like you by far had the truck to beat here tonight. You led a ton of laps here. You had to, you know, kind of wade your way through a lot of these cautions, but unfortunately it looks like maybe running out of tires here at the end, or maybe deciding not to take tires at the end, cost you the opportunity at the win.
Yeah, it was definitely a strategy call that kind of screwed me over there. Screwed a lot of guys out of, especially me and me, Jeremy, and Aaron out of a podium for all three of us. Just the decision not to take tires, relying on a caution. We took a big risk, and it just didn't pay off. But you win some, you lose some. You live and learn, and we'll move on to next week.
Well, listen, third place wasn't exactly wrapped up for you here at the end, and you had to do some epic battling with Genski and Gill at the end of this thing, all while trying to run down Ledesma there for second. So, I mean, you were battling and holding off third like you were trying to battle for the win here at the end.
Yeah, every point counts in my opinion. So even though it's my teammate, I'm still going to race him hard. With 5 to go, I don't really have teammates, but I love all of those guys. I love all of those guys to death. It's great to be a part of mid-tier and to be able to race people like that. It's just, that's what racing's all about. So to be able to run somebody that hard, but know that they're not going to wreck you, you're not going to wreck them, it's just absolutely amazing to feel.
Listen, at the end of the day, I mean, you start off the first 2 races with the pole position. You almost go back-to-back with the wins, and realistically, had there not been some, different tire strategies here at the end, I think you had the fastest truck here tonight and would have gone back-to-back. But either way, 2 podiums to start the season, a first and a third. Not a bad way to welcome yourself back here to hold your brakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that strategy call, it's always if frogs had machine guns, flies had machine guns, frogs wouldn't mess with them. But here we are, played a bad strategy, still ended up in the podium, still ended up talking to you guys, which that's always a good night. Love you guys to death. Just gonna kick myself a little bit for that one, but it's good to be back up here.
Well, you got a long season to work yourself back into it, and you guys head to Texas next week. What are your thoughts on the Texas Motor Speedway out there? Do you think it's another track that kind of fits your eye?
It's a really fun track. I've always liked the cookie cutter style speedways. I would honestly prefer more short tracks on the schedule, a little more road course action. But I'm just gonna do what we've been doing, try to win every race.
Well, it's certainly been a good start to the season here for you, and I'm sure you're still going to be leaving here with the points lead hanging out to Texas. So congrats on the start of the season. Third place here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
First, I want to thank Checkers Records, What the Heckers podcast. New episodes every Tuesday night. Actually, tomorrow night coming up to sum up the Las Vegas race. Huge thanks to Team Conti Setup Performance for making a bad fast race truck, MKM Racing Development, Team Rayom for Performance, everybody that makes this possible. You guys up in the booth, SM Racing, Majestic Racewear, everybody.
Well, I want to thank you for the shout-outs, and definitely tune in tomorrow night so Timothy the President can tell you what not to do with tire strategy here at Las Vegas, or at Auto Club. But either way...
Oh, that was cheap.
Too early? All right, my bad. But either way, congrats again on back-to-back podiums to start out the season. Looking forward to seeing what you have to do out there in Texas.
Thank you. I'll give it to you. That was pretty funny.
That is your third place finisher here tonight. The 22 of Timothy Presley. Winner here tonight, had to use that tire strategy and had to work it to a T, is going to be the 99 of Tom Lanier.
Hey, Tom, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got a copy this evening. How are y'all doing?
Pretty decent. Hey, right strategy call at the end allows you to drive right by these guys that dominated all night. Get yourself a victory here at the Auto Club. How was it out there tonight, battling the yellows and the traffic?
Yeah, I tried to set myself up for a fun day. Qualified 22nd was not the qualifying that I wanted. Just try to stay calm, be patient. We had some early cautions. I picked up 9-10 spots in 10 laps, so I was kind of happy with that pace. And then the top 10, we battled really hard. It's tough to get runs. You want to dive it in on the bottom. That's where I'm the most comfortable, but it's so hard to get up off the corner. So you lose that momentum, and those guys are able to fight back on the outside. And so with the new tires, I was able to work on the 4 and get to his right rear, and then do the same thing with the 22. And those guys, they put up a fight, but they needed some tires there at the end.
Tires are king, and they definitely shine through when the end of the race comes through. And you're the driver that has the newest treads on the track. So congratulations here, striping this one away, being the second race of the season. But before we let you get out of here, I'll give you some time for any shots you might have in at number 99.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to David Chapman, CL Racing. We put this thing together years ago, so it's always fun to still be able to race with him. And then big shout out to all the sponsors that put this league together: Meats and Sweets, Backbone Candle Company, Marty, iRacing Paint Shop, and then of course Pin Up for Vets that have been here for a couple seasons now. So appreciate those sponsors and allowing us to race and you guys to broadcast it.
Yeah, we really appreciate the shouts, man. Again, congratulations on the victory here tonight, and look forward to seeing you at the next one. But until next time, we'll see you. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
All right. Thanks, Carl, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight with the right strategy at the right time. But even before that, Jimmy, I mean, I kind of mentioned him, but I think probably about midway through the race, I said, that 99 started back in the pack, worked his way up into the top 10, even the top 5. So he definitely had a fast race truck out here tonight. But the differing tire strategy, that helped. That helped a little bit here at the end. But he still had to work his way from 9th up into the lead, and it took a little bit. You see him, kind of stall out there in 3rd place. I thought maybe that was as high as he can get, but then eventually was able to work his way around Jeremy Gill and start to hunt down your leader and end up paying off to a victory here tonight. So congrats again to the 99 of Tom Lanier, getting race win number 1 for the season in race number 2, as Daytona winner was Timothy Presley. Tonight, Tom Lanier, who's got race number 3 is the next question. That's going to happen again next week at Texas, as that'll wrap up our month of March. We'll have a week off and then head to Worldwide Technology Raceway, Pocono, Watkins Glen, Rockingham. The month of April is not kind to these drivers here at all. Those are 4 very difficult racetracks. I guess probably the easiest one you could say out of all 4 of those is Pocono. And I always think of that thing as a road course shaped like an oval. So none of those tracks in April are easy. So maybe the last easy track for quite some time until we get past the All-Star break here in Hold Your Brakes Academy is going to be next week at Texas. But you got to tune in to find out who's got the hot shoe out there next week. But the rest of this week, we still got some big racing action. We got the season finale tomorrow night for the Core Xfinity Series presented by SimRaces.com, as they're going to be heading to Homestead for the brain farting all of a sudden on the name of the race. So I apologize for that, but Nelson's T, I think it's just the Nelson's T 100 for tomorrow night for the season finale. And then Wednesday, CSRL not going to be starting just yet. They're going to be starting the following week for their season, but we do have the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, and then we have the Virtual Velocity Racing Series on Thursday. So a lot of racing left here on CRN for this week. But for myself and Jimmy from the Auto Club Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Woo.